Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your reading. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much, my darlings, for joining me on your week ahead reading. It is the 20th to the 26th of July 2020. I want to show the cards that we're using this week. For your general reading this week, we use the Tarot Grand Luxe by Ciro Marchetti. For your career reading this week, we use the Everyday Enchantment Tarot by Poppy Palin. And for your love reading this week, we use the Dark Mansion Tarot. For your spiritual guidance this week, we use the Secret Language of Colour cards by Ina Segal. We also use the Law of Attraction Little Reminders cards. And finally, we also use the spiritual guidance this week, the Crazy Sexy Love Notes by Chris Carr. Okay, sit back, relax, guys, and please enjoy the video. Hi Libra, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. It's the 20th through to the 26th of July. Okay Libra, so we've got the cards out. Let's have a look at what the universe wants you to know. General message, 20th to the 26th of July. The Empress, growth, abundance, nurturing, love, attraction. Empress is ruled by Venus, so it's the planet of love, obviously. When you get the Empress as well, because it's a number 3 card, you often want to look at what card sits next to it, because it can tell you what's growing and what's kind of being created as well, because this is a card about creation. So let's have a look at the next card. Okay, so I'm seeing something about marriage and happiness. You got an Empress and a 4 of Wands. So if we were to look at what's being created, what the message is with the idea of the Empress sitting next door to a card. If you got the Empress and the 9 of Swords, it may be that somebody is creating a lot of worries in their head, because she creates. So whatever is next door to her, she's creating. So the message is about creating perhaps happiness and joy with the 4 of Wands energy. Some of you guys, the message might be about creating some form of an event, because the 4 of Wands is an event card. So you could be there needs to be a focus on creating an event, or creating happiness, or even creating a family, for example. This could be something to do with pregnancy and family planning and, you know, building your family, you know, nurturing family, creating family, you know, because 4 of Wands energy is the family card. And Empress is creation, so there could easily be something alluding to adding to the family, for example, like adding another child, that type of thing. Or the Empress, because she's often the card about marriage as well, and the 4 of Wands is the card about marriage. This could be a message about marriage as well, Empress and the 4 of Wands. Let's have a look here. Queen of Coins, so settling down. Queen of Coins is a card about somebody who loves to be at home. It's not just a working card or a money card, it's a card about somebody who loves to be at home. And if you look at these two cards, you've got an Empress and a Queen of Coins, and they're very similar. If any queen is sort of similar to the Empress, if you were to look at any queen and say which queen is most similar to the Empress, it's more than likely going to be your Queen of Coins. Even though the Queen of Cups is a very close second, I would definitely call it a Queen of Coins, because she's very nurturing as well. So we've got two very nurturing, feminine, female cards sitting bookending that 4 of Wands. So I think the message is all about there is a need this week probably to spend time with family, nurture the people in your family, love the people in your family, support the people in your family. There could also be a message about marriage and settling down, or taking a relationship to the next level. Got the High Priestess here as well. There could be something considering pertaining perhaps to pregnancy for some of you guys. The High Priestess talks about conception. So when you get cards like the High Priestess and the Moon, they can actually indicate something going behind the scenes. So pregnancy, for example, conception of a pregnancy. And then you get the Queen of Coins, which is somebody who is carrying the seed. And then you get the Empress as well, which is somebody who is, nurturing pregnancy. So this is somebody who's pregnant. 2 pregnancy cards and a card about conceiving pregnancy as well. And then you've got the family card here. So this could be a message about a pregnancy, for example. I don't want to predict anything on this particular area of the reading, but there's something about pregnancy for some of you guys in there. There's a message about kind of conception of pregnancy, for example, conceiving a pregnancy, adding to the family. So maybe that's something, a message, something for some of you guys to focus on. Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, so the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a friendship. A friendship. That's an interesting. I've never seen the High Priestess and the Three of Cups before at all. Never. So let's have a look at the cards. And the message is, I think there's two things. And I don't want to, I mean, I've already said about the pregnancy factor, so there could be potentially something to do with pregnancy in here for some of you Librans. But I think that, you know, that aside, I would say, and also there could be a message about marriage as well happening here, because of these three cards, Empress, Queen of Coins, bookending that Four of Wands. This definitely looks like pregnancy or marriage in those areas there. The High Priestess for me tends to detach, though, at times from friendships as well. Detaching from a friendship. I think it's time. I think the message may be actually for the week that it's time to spend more time with family. Looking at those three cards there, because the Four of Wands is the card about the family, and if you look at the Empress and the Queen of Coins, they're both homebodies. They both love their families. They both like to be around their kids and their husbands or boyfriends, or, you know, whatever the case may be. They both like gardening as well. And I know that if you're from the UK, I don't know about the States, I suppose it will be in the States as well, but it's going to be a really warm week between the 20th and the 26th, and this looks like a time to, because this could be a gathering as well, okay, a gathering of people. The Four of Wands is a card about events and gathering and that type of thing. So it may be that it's time to spend time with family more, with the Empress and the Four of Wands, the Queen of Coins and the Four of Wands. That could be a message in there, because it's about nurturing family, it's about spending time with family, doing things in the garden, because both cards, Empress and Queen of Coins, talk about being outside in nature and, you know, attending, perhaps there's a social gathering here. It just feels like it's time to spend time with friends and family. I know that we're going through something at the moment in the world, but if you can, it's time, I think, to focus on spending time with friends and family. I also, though, feel with the High Priestess, she's an interesting one to show up with that Three of Cups. The High Priestess can be somebody who is... she can be somebody who raises consciousness. So this is like consciousness is moving, but it's not raising really, because you've got the Three of Cups here. We've got a 3 here, but Three of Cups is friendship. The High Priestess is connecting on a mental, you know, I mean, I don't have a bridging card for that Three of Cups, but the Three of Cups, what am I trying to say for the High Priestess? But then we do have that 3. The 3 is connection, a spiritual connection. The 3 is not always friendship. Sometimes it represents connections, because these 3 people are connecting in. And then you've got the High Priestess. It's a mental card. It's a spiritual card. I'm seeing a spiritual connection here. Okay, so the message for the week, I think, is that it's time to start nurturing and spending time with friends and family, people that you've got a spiritual High Priestess connection with. Okay. Time to start nurturing these relationships. Perhaps it's time to start, I mean, this may not even be, it depends, who have you got the spiritual connection with? You know, is it family or is it people inside a community as well? Because the Four of Wands can be a community as well. So I'm going to call it, and I'm going to say that if any of you guys are involved in anything spiritual, like tarot groups or you know, anything to do with clairvoyancy, for example, or anything at all that's particularly spiritual, you know, anything at all, I think it would be a good idea. I think the message is it's time to start create, because some of you guys, it may be, the focus needs to be on creating as well with this Empress, a community. Okay, a community, possibly even using your resources where you can connect with the spiritual, because this is spiritual and this is connection. So where you can make spiritual connections. So I think that actually I'm going to read it that way and say that for the week, the general message is it's time to start creating or nurturing communities, showing here, because Four of Wands is also community in which you use your resources. You can use your resources, whatever those resources are, whether it's your computer, your internet, whatever it is, in order to, with this High Priestess, in order to spiritually connect, because the High Priestess is spiritual, and when we do a 3 of Cups, we're doing a connection, okay? Time to kind of tap into a spiritual community, or start creating one if you want to create one, using the resources you've got to spiritually connect with others. Okay, let's have a look at the work area. So yeah, I mean, the Eight of Swords is a card about feeling slightly trapped. Well, not even slightly trapped. Sometimes you feel absolutely kind of imprisoned with that Eight of Swords. So in work, the Eight of Swords would be that I feel trapped by my job. I'm feeling kind of limited. I'm feeling powerless. There's a lot of kind of negative ideas going on with that card. However, we've got the Water Bearer card here of the Temperance card, the healer. However, I feel that this energy here can be healed with, it can be remedied basically with the Temperance energy showing here. Okay, Knight of Swords energy. But I think that with the Knight of Swords, you've got to take charge. All right, so if you're feeling this Eight of Swords, feeling trapped and powerless and limited within the work that you do, Libra, this can be remedied. But I think with the Knight of Swords, it's actually telling you that you need to actually take some action, because the Knight of Swords is an action card, okay? What is this? We've got a lot of swords indicating that there's conflict in work, but I still feel with the Temperance being the major arcana, it can be remedied. Okay, right, we've got it right. So this is a culprit here. This is a culprit here, okay? So we're going to leave this for a moment, the Temperance card, and talk about these 3 sword cards. The 3 sword cards, we've got a 5 card reading in terms of work. 3 sword cards outweighing that card there. Sorry, outweighing this card, but, okay, what am I saying? Sorry, it's very early when I'm recording. I'm recording these very, very early, like 6:30 in the morning. So, just looking at something here. What is this? Okay, so, sorry, just bear with me one moment. I just need to... Sorry, I've got another device sitting next door to me. It's telling me I need to do a restart. So, okay, update and restart. Okay. For work, 3 sword cards, which would indicate that there's some conflict going on. So I won't lie, there is conflict somewhere along the line for some of you guys in work. And I'm not surprised, because you've got a King of Wands in the reverse. This is somebody who's not nice. King of Wands in the reverse, it looks to be, the conflict may be with the boss. But somebody who's really not nice at all, he's reversed. So a King of Wands in the reverse is... I'm not wishing to frighten anyone, of course I'm not. I would never do that on readings. But the cards are what they are. I mean, look at it. You've got a Knight of Swords and you've got a Ten of Swords. The Knight of Swords is restlessness and anger. And the Ten of Swords is being stabbed in the back. Not all the time, but it is literally being shouted at or being pointed at. Swords represent words. And when you get the Ten of Swords, and then you've got this King of Wands in the reverse sitting next door to the Ten of Swords, we know that this is the culprit. We know there's somebody around you who probably with that Ten of Swords and Knight of Swords is quite abusive. And there you are wanting to get out because you've just had enough. And yeah, it may be that you're having to deal with a really volatile character during that week for some of you Librans. But I feel with the Temperance energy that this can be remedied. And I'm going to clarify and ask how this situation could be remedied for you, Libra, okay? How can this situation be remedied for Libra in 2 cards? How can this situation be remedied for Libra, please, in 2 cards? Right, the Lovers. And, right, it might be that you have to make a choice to end the job, for example, because there's a choice here with the Lovers energy. And the Death card is to end it. You need to make a choice. Maybe that you... Well, I'll ask to end what? To end what? To end what? Should I have to make a choice with the Lovers to end what? 1 to 2 cards. Okay, so the Two of Wands energy showing here to end the partnership. Because the Two of Wands in a work reading would be a business partnership. So it doesn't mean that like this is... I mean, this may be a business partner for some of you guys. And for some of you guys, it's just to end the, you know, the business partnership, the contract, for example. You know, start something new. Page of Swords, start on a new track, because the Page of Swords is starting a new journey. He's a student. So end this partnership and start something new. You know, with the Page of Swords energy. Start on a new. It's a page. Pages are new. They're new beginnings. So yeah, unfortunately, what I'm seeing in work for some of you Librans is 3 sword cards. They're not the nicest of sword cards. Sword cards, multiple sword cards in a reading pretty much is always conflict. So you do have conflict with this dude here. Not very nice, quite abusive, quite rude, I would say. King of Wands reversed. But there is a remedy to this. You can remedy this, the Temperance energy. For some of you guys, by making a choice to leave with the Death card in showing here. It was clarified with the Two of Wands, so it's starting your own path, taking charge, starting a new direction here, and a new path with the Page of Swords energy. Maybe learning something new, going back to college, whatever it is, but it says that you don't have to put up with this. You can choose to leave and start something new. Finally, in terms of love. Right, the Four of Swords in a love reading would be withdrawal. So this would be somebody withdrawing from a relationship with the Four of Swords. Let's have a look here. Or taking time out or taking a break. Yeah, I mean, I've got withdrawal and walking away. Sorry, your reading's turning not to be that great. It's not that it's not that great. It's just that, you know, I want to give you guys good news. Of course I do. Everybody does. And, you know, there's always ways to... What I try and do is I always try and put an optimistic spin on a reading that may not be, you know, full of hearts and flowers. But there is... These two cards are undeniable. The Four of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Four of Swords is to withdraw and the Eight of Cups is to abandon. The Page of Cups. But this 8 is looking for that page. Or it could be abandoning somebody who's quite childish. So some of you guys may be in this week thinking about withdrawing and abandoning somebody who's quite childish with the Page of Wands energy here. I've seen this combination. It's funny because I did some other readings earlier for the channel, and this exact pair showed up, but it showed up through this deck for another sign. I'm not surprised that you would do this. That combination I hate in anybody. The Page of Wands and the Five of Swords is somebody who's sarcastic. What they're basically doing, they're making lots of jokes, but with the Five of Swords energy, they're being sarcastic. They're playing mind games. Okay, so I think that some of you guys will choose to withdraw and abandon somebody. They're really quite childish, I think, with that page anyway. But you'll choose to abandon somebody who makes jokes, but they make them at your expense. It's as a way to bring you down with the Five of Swords energy. It's not passive aggressive, because for a passive aggressive behaviour, you need things like the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Coins. You need a passive, and then you need an aggressive card. There's a fire energy but the fire energy of the page is joking. He's young and he likes to laugh. So, but this is why I see the Page of Wands as being the card of the Joker. You know, it's a person who makes jokes and who laughs and stuff. But with the Five of Swords energy, there's a really kind of nasty edge to what they're doing. So this is somebody probably who's putting you down, but making out that they're not doing it. Yeah, I mean, for something better with the Sun. So I'm seeing some of you guys, which I think is great, choosing to withdraw and abandon this page, this person, whoever this is, childish and silly, makes jokes at your expense with that Page of Wands and the Five of Swords. You're choosing to do this for something better, and I don't blame you. I've met people like this before, and they're really not nice, and I'm not surprised that you would do that. So let's quickly go over the reading one more time before we wrap up and go to the spiritual cards. So firstly, what I'm seeing in terms of your reading is the general message, I think, for some of you guys is it's time this week to start nurturing, whether it be family, with that Queen of Coins and Empress, start nurturing family relationships, marriages, for example, you know, people that you're close to, as a way to, in fact, spiritually connect with them as well. So you could, the message is to do that with family and friends as a way to spiritually, with the High Priestess, connect. The other way that I can explain this is it's time to start creating a community, creating an event or creating a community using your resources in which you can spiritually, High Priestess, connect with others with the Three of Cups. In terms of work, you do have those three swords. There is a bit of conflict here coming in. You're tired of it with the Eight of Swords. It's with this nasty piece of whatever, King of Wands in the reverse. But there's a way that you can remedy this, I think, with the Temperance energy, by making a decision, making a choice, the Lover's energy, by deciding with the Lover's energy to leave this particular partnership, Two of Cups, Two of Wands energy, and start afresh with the Page of Swords energy. You know, and also the Page of Swords is a document, it's a legal document. Okay, so when I asked what is it you should end, and it said the partnership, the contract, for example, the legal contract, that type of thing, because it's a partnership and there's a contract here on that, to end it if you can. I should imagine it will be easy to do, especially if you're in employment. You can leave any time. Finally, in love, some of you guys choosing to withdraw and abandon a relationship with somebody who takes the pee. They do it quite often, and they do it as a way to make you feel less, but they cover it up and say it's a joke. They're quite sarcastic. You choose to do that for something better, which I think is a good thing to do. Who wants to be in a relationship where somebody's not making you feel very good? Right, let's have a look at what the spiritual advice is through the Crazy Sexy Love Notes, and it says risk it. So the advice is, great things are born from those brave enough to fly, those who are willing to risk failure. Your dreams require action, and you're ready to make a move. Remember, you have nothing to lose. Even if you flop, you'll receive valuable insight. So get off your butt and take a leap. Go for it. Fantastic. I certainly feel that this is in this area here and in the work area here that I think this is very apt for. The colour that you should be focusing on this week is pink. It says let love in, which is fine, but the person that you want to let love in with is probably not this dude here. All right, so let love in, which is really nice. Let's have a quick look at what the mantra is. I forgot to get the booklet out. So I always have to read the booklet because I don't know what the meanings are. These cards are off by heart. So number 4. So the mantra for this is, pink is the energy of unconditional love, opening your heart and helping to heal heart problems. It assists with releasing emotional challenges and brings tranquility. Pink also helps with insomnia and the manifestation of dreams. Open your heart with delicate pink colours. Become aware of any tension in your body, taking a deep breath and allow your body to soften. Focus on letting go of any hardness or density. Close your eyes and imagine you are holding the most beautiful pink flower. Breathe in its sweet scent, inviting its beauty and delicateness to open your heart. Then imagine pink light from the flower flowing into your heart and filling it up with unconditional love. Now think of someone you love and allow the love you feel to pour from your heart into his or hers. Savor that feeling of love and connectedness. I think certainly in this area is here as well. Nurturing marriages, things like that. Spiritually connecting more. So that could definitely be for this area here in terms of kind of, you know, nurturing the relationships that you're in. So this is what you need to say. Divine love, this is your mantra for the week. Pour your healing light into my heart, softening it, purifying it and rejuvenating it so that it is shiny, loving and full of enthusiasm. Let's do that again. Divine love, pour your healing light into my heart, softening it, purifying it and rejuvenating it so that it is shiny, loving and full of enthusiasm. Fantastic. Okay, that is your reading for the week. I would like to say thank you so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you would like your own personal reading, click on the link in the comment section below or the end screen, and have an absolutely fantastic week, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care guys. Bye bye.